The following review is going to be on Studio Series 86 Deluxe Brawn. Stay tuned. Rodimusbill here, and today we're going to do another mini bot. This time it's Studio Series 8622 Deluxe Brawn from Transformers the Movie. Now first we'll take a look at the package. It says Studio Series Brawn 8622 Transformers Generations. You got Transformers the Movie. There is the Transformers the Movie logo. It is deluxe class. There it is again. And big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. Decepticon shuttle ambush. And in an effort to protect the crew, Brawn is the first to act when Decepticons attack the Autobot shuttle. And it says backdrop included. Alright, let's get this guy out of the package and see what he looks like. Alright, and here's what you get. First you get the actual cardboard that Brawn is attached to. Now it is a mirror image of the backdrop, which is pretty cool. Hasbro didn't have to do that. I know on the Buzzworthy Bumblebee ones, it's just plain cardboard. But they decided to add some paint and reproduce the Studio Series scene. And here is that scene. It is the Autobot shuttle with the big hole in it. When you had Brawn, Ratchet, Prowl, and Ironhide get ambushed, and they all died in the first part of the movie. Here is his gun. Pretty cool. Instruction booklet. Transformers the Movie. You put his gun in his hand, and that's it for that. And then you transform him, and the gun goes into the tire. So, pretty simple. We'll stick him there. There he is on the. There, we'll just scoot this up. There he is on the display stand. We'll put his gun in his hand. And alright, review's over. No, just kidding. Now for the Brawn figure. Actually, my thoughts. Now this is 86 movie, because originally they were going to make the movie figures more accurate. Because when they first came out years and years ago, they were the worst accurate figures there were. Because unlike the regular Transformers were toys, then they became a cartoon. The 86, the cartoon was designed first, and the toys were meant to mirror the toys. But they had early concepts, so a lot of the new figures like Blur, Hot Rod, Cup were different colors. Galvatron was different colors too. And Brawn, see, in my opinion, they should have had an 84 line, which should have been the 84 line of Autobots, Brawn included. Then they could have had an 85 line, like the new mini-bots, like Warpath and Gears, or not Gears, Outback and stuff like that. And then they could have had an 86 line, well, which was the movie. But I digress. This is Brawn. And he's a cool looking figure. Again, the promos had, for some reason, the foot looked too narrow down here, and the promos were bad. But just like Cyclonus, once you get this figure in hand, he's not that bad. Now, he is one of the mini bots, which I believe they have redone several of the mini bots into deluxe scale, like Warpath, Cosmo, Huffer. I wish they would redo a Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. I know they have the Netflix series, which I don't like that mold. And all they need, I know Beachcomber's out now, but I haven't gotten him, and they need a Power Glide. I'm dying to see a Power Glide, a Wind Charger, some of these old mini bots. I think eventually they'll get to it. But now back to Brawn. Very cartoon accurate. At the end of this video, I'm going to put some cartoon screenshots in so you can see how accurate he is. He's got a little backpack, but I don't mind it, not so much. For a small deluxe, he's got a very intricate transformation, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they're not doing these so basic like they used to. Alright, let's look at that face. Typical gray face with the back behind it. He's orange and green, red Autobot symbol. I like the silver on the lower arm. The waist is orange, but the hips are green. You go down green down here, you got some silver there. So you got silver on the knees, silver on the arms, silver face with blue eyes. Again, the backpack doesn't bother me, not at all. Some kind of Jeep, but it's pretty cool. Now, articulation, the head. If you do this, you can turn the head all the way, 360 degrees, but there is no up and down movement. Just do the way he transforms. The arms do 360 degrees. They go out like that. He's got a more than 90-degree bend, which is pretty cool, and he's got rotation right here. The wrists just fold in for transformation. He's got a waist swivel, 360 degrees. The other arm is the same. Now you can kick almost 90 degrees. And back, you've got none. But if you move this out of the way, he's got almost same range of motion as the front. He does the whole split. He's got upper thigh rotation on that mushroom joint. And then not quite 90, but almost 90 in the knees. And his foot rocks back and forth, and you can make the toes in the back go up and down. So he's very posable. And his gun fits in either hand. And if you want to store it, he comes with an extra wheel back here. You can just pop that in. And the instructions don't tell you, but the wheel pops off too. So the gun fits in there too. I kind of wish they would have done something with the wheel. Can the wheel go? Is the wheel? Yeah, well, the wheel's got to be well, maybe like something like that. See, that it don't look too bad, but all right, we'll put the wheel back in here. All right, and that is our newest mini-bot Brawn. I picked this guy up at GameStop, in case you're wondering. All right, now let's do some robot-to-robot comparison. Now, the first robot-to-robot is going to be Brawn from the Bumblebee movie. And I think they pretty much nailed it. You've got the orange, you've got the green in all the right places. Yeah, his feet are yellow, but that's fine. You've got that same dome head, kind of like the Juggernaut look going. He's got the back behind it. So I think they did a pretty good job of Brawn in the Bumblebee movie. Now, I don't have Brawn, but I do have Outback. Now, they were the same mold. So we're going to show you G1. Here is the G1. Now, just picture him. It's the same exact mold. So this is what I grew up on with the little hands, you know, the feet. And this is the upgraded version on Titan's Return. And now we have a deluxe. And also, this little guy came out way back in Titan's Return. And what you do is you take the little Titan Return dude, you transform him, and it's Brawn. Look at that. It's Brawn's head. Pretty cool. And these were neat little things. I mean, they did one from Swoop, and they did, you know, and this thing transformed into a bike, I guess. There you go. So, pretty, but anyway. The whole point was the little Power Master, or the little Titan Master Brawn figure. Like I said, I usually don't get molds of the same color like the Seekers, like Ironhide or Ratchet. I usually get one of each. And when I was a kid, I got Outback. So when they came out with Titan's Return Legend size figures, I got me Outback. And it's the same mold. Now we're going to bring this guy out later to show you a fan mold of Brawn. Now, in the original movie, he was a mini-bot. So, I'm going to bring out Bumblebee. Now, this is the Cybertron Origins Bumblebee. So, he's not quite deluxe figure, but that's what he is. Warpath, another mini-bot turned deluxe figure. So, that's pretty cool. We got Cosmo. All right, he was very hard to find. I thank Omar for getting him for me. Next we got Huffer and Pipes. Pipes was in the 3rd season. Huffer was a G1. And then we got Jazz, since Jazz was one of the original figures too. And then here is the Voyager Ironhide, because Ironhide and Brawn were from the beginning. We got Perceptor. Now, I want to show up Perceptor because I think he's the biggest deluxe we've got so far. And he's a small deluxe. But Perceptor is very basic in his transformation. Brawn's a little more trickier, so that's probably why they get away with it. And I do like this because Brawn was a little guy. And then you had Optimus Prime. So, and I think he did look down on the mini bots. So we're just going to bring in all our mini bots right now. I only did the G1 mini bots, the ones in the cartoon show. So here are all of the Brawn and his mini bot, or the G1, and we'll do Prowl, and we'll do Perceptor. So that is basically probably season 1 and 2. I believe Pipes was season 2, Warpath was season 2. But I like how they're coming out. Now all we need is Gears is coming out. I would like a better Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper, and I want a Power Glide. They haven't done Wind Charger. Let's see, what else is there? The Throttle Bots. But anyway, this is a good G, and I think this is a perfect size. The mini bots were smaller than the regular Autobots, and then you had all of the, like Ironhide was the Voyager size. They were the bigger Autobots. So Jazz doesn't really quite fit. Oops, I took Brawn away by mistake. So that is Brawn, and I'm going to bring this guy back because I love the way these two guys look. And I'm going to mention it now. There is a similarity between He-Man's Man-at-Arms and Brawn. I'll even stick a picture of that too by the end of the video. Alright, now let's get Brawn transformed into his Jeep mode. Alright, first I'm going to take the gun out. And then what we're just going to do is fold his hands in and rotate these to the back. We're going to fold the hands in and rotate this to the back. Then we're going to come back here and just get this out of the way for now. We're going to pull his head forward. Now this is cool how they make the back of his head. This whole piece rotates like that. And then I like to turn his head around so he's not looking like that. And that is the front of the Jeep. Now, by here, I like to turn the waist around because later on you might not have room. Okay, so you come back up here. Now, actually we're going to roll this down. We're going to show you these arms. You're going to rotate. I know they have this in the new, we're going to rotate this down. They're going to take us on. They have this in the new Optimus, I think. You put this down like that. Okay, so once you're up to here, let's fold these around, and this whole thing is going to flip up. There you go. Now, once you do that, you see you have 2 tabs on this side, and you got all the slots on this side. So we're going to move the arm down, and I'm going to rotate this up. Now what you want to do is you want to put the top of the shoulders together and the arms. Now, I want to point out something right now. These are... Oh, no, that's right. Okay. Oh. See his hands? They got a little groove in his fingers. We're going to... Oops. You got a little groove inside his fingers. We're going to deal with that later. So, now what you want to do is... We're going to take the feet. We're going to separate this. Alright? We're going to pull this down like that. And we're going to pull this down Mine gets stuck all the time. This is good though. It's nice and stiff like this. Now this is the fan mold. While we're going to be here, if you take the original figure like this, rotate these around. Now look at the legs. So that's the fan mold. Alright, so now while you're up here, let's put these back together. Now is a good time to collapse both sides of the foot. So collapse both sides of the foot. Now, what you're going to do is, alright, there's this little tab on the thigh. That is what's going to fit in the hand. So, we can just fold this in like that. And we're going to fold this up. So, and they don't really, they're going to soft click. Now, make sure that the toes fit in here, and you're going to have this tab go into this hole. So, that's clicked in. And this came out. That's in. And you want to put this inside like that. And then also what will happen is you have these two tabs are going to go into right there. Oh, and this keeps popping out. Alright, there's one. And there's two. So when we lower this, remember these tabs are going to pop into there. And then you're going to pull this down. And you got these two yellow tabs are going to fit there and there. And we've got, and then just like any other Transformer, just make sure he's all put together. And there is Brawn. He rolls pretty good. He rolls really good. And this figure has no clear plastic. I like how they're doing, just they're painting the plastic. This, I don't know why they like this light blue for windows. It's more comic accurate, but it's still a weird color to me. And they didn't paint the back window, but it's cool. You got a little gas can there. But I digress. So there is Brawn. So there is the Autobot symbol on the front hood. He's got the windshield wipers and that blue window. He's got the silver grille with the orange bumper. He's got the headlights. And then you come along here. You get the side window, the little mirror, the back window. Yeah, you can see robot parts, but it doesn't bother me. You're never going to have a completely smooth car. The wheels are on these little pegs, but they're pretty good. Like I said, the back, they gave it a windshield wiper, but they wouldn't even paint it. Kind of weird, but no license plate, but that don't bother me. Here's the other side. Here's the top. And see why I like to flip the head around, so you don't see Brawn's head. And then you put this here. And that is basic Brawn. Now, I don't know why this tire is removable, but it's pretty cool, though. They gave you an extra tire. So, and we'll stick that back in here. We'll put this on here. And there is G1 Brawn in all his glory. And I am so glad they're making these. These figures were so goofy looking and small when they first came out in the 80s. Because I just turned the Magic 5.0. So I've been collecting Transformers since when they came out in 84. I was 11. So, and I saw the original movie 86 inside the movie theaters. And I think every year that they've brought it, they re-released it, I've seen it. And I could literally watch the Transformers the movie with the sound off and recite every single verse. I've done it before. My kids are amazed, but anyway, I digress. All right, now let's do some vehicle comparisons. All right, now for the comparisons, we're going to bring in our Bumblebee movie. Now, this was a Cybertronian vehicle, so they had complete liberty of doing what they did, and I think they did a pretty good job. His drill is from an old G1 episode where the Autobots were drills. And let's see, they look pretty good together. Same size, same color, so I kind of like the real life version of him. Now, going back to these guys. Okay, so remember, it's the same mold, but you could see the same. Here's from the top view. They all have that spare tire on top with the roof. They're all like Jeep-like vehicles. Here's what they look like. So you could see this and this are pretty good representation of the same. And then they even have that Stoll gas tank on the back, which is pretty cool. So that is the evolution. This came first, this was second, and now they have the Studio Series. So that is Brawn through the ages. Now I know it's pretend it's green though, the same vehicle, Outback Brawn, same thing. So that are those two guys. And now we're going to bring some of his mini-bot brethren. First, we're going to stick with, this is Warpath, Kingdom Warpath, but now they're different lines. This is Studio Series, this is Kingdom, but they're all supposed to scale well together, and I think they do a pretty good job. So that is Warpath, and we're gonna bring in good old Pipes and Huffer, since they are the same mold. So that's pretty good too. Now, you know, about the same size. But, you know, and I'm really glad that we're getting all our mini bots. So that is Pipes and Huffer. One more mini bot. Well, two more. This is Cosmos. Nice. And then we're going to bring in Origins Bumblebee. Pretty cool. I want to bring in this little guy too. They even kept it green and yellow, and that was a little Brawn or Titan Master. Alright, now we're going to the Studio Series 86. Jazz, it's funny because Jazz was one of the few robots to make it out in the 86 movie from the original line, and he was the first Autobot to die in the real life version. And I do like him better as Jazz, not Mirage, if you've seen Rise of the Beast, but anyway. So that is Mirage or Jazz. You got me saying it. This is Ironhide, and I think this is a good scale. I mean, Ironhide was a little bigger. Ironhide wasn't considered a mini bot, so he was he looked, you know, he was a lot taller than the mini bots. So that's good to me. Perceptor, really, you're not going to get no sense of scale because he's a microscope, but. And him and Perceptor did have an adventure or two together. And this is the Earthrise / Netflix / Leader / Voyager for Size Optimus Prime. Mine's actually deformed. He wasn't made right. So you can see he's got that bend. But so that is Brawn and Optimus. Are these to scale? Maybe not. But robot-wise, they're pretty good. And let's do like we did in robot mode. Let's get all our G1 vehicles out here together. And we'll throw Perceptor in the back. So that is all G1 vehicles like that. And like I said, I think we need Gears is coming out. Beachcomber's out already. I saw him one time, but I didn't pick him up. My regret. But I will get Beachcomber eventually. I know Gears is next. And I want a Power Glide. If anybody from Hasbro's listening, I want Power Glide. You gave us Warpath, you can give us Power Glide. Alright. And that is it for all our vehicle to vehicle. Now, if you've been to my channel before or new to the channel, I always do the reverse transformation because reviewers that don't show you both ways are doing you a disservice. Because it's always a lot easier to start out in alt mode when you just take them apart. You usually expand them, then contract them. So I always start as he came. He showed up in robot mode. So I did them in robot mode. Now the reason why, years and years and years ago before I had my channel, I remember I had Combiner War Skydive. Now his arms and shoulders, if you don't know, are very tricky. And these instruction booklets, quite frankly, suck. Alright, they do. So I had to go and find a video on it, and luckily I had to watch it backwards, so luckily I figured out how to do it. So I just figured, why don't these people do it as they're packaged? So that's how I do it, and that's how my channel started. And by the way, if there's a link to this guy in the description, Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, please feel free to buy him through there. I do not do YouTube as a job. I'm in the forensics field in real life. I fight crime my own way. All right, now, transform this guy back. First, I took the gun off. Then you want to come back here. And you want to unpeg these two. And just flip that up. All right. Now what you want to do is untab these. And just set that like that and leave it. Okay, the feet, untab. Now, we're going to stop right here and I'm going to show you. If these things pop out, one side of these has a habit of popping out like that. See, it's just a piece of plastic that goes right here. So if while you're transforming it, they're just pegged in. If you're transforming it and this guy does pop out, this is where it goes. If you lose it, I don't think it's a big deal. It just fills in a panel. But be alert. If something pops off, you don't know what it is, this is going to be the piece. Huh? And I bet you haven't seen that anywhere else. So, we're going to stretch the legs like this. Okay? And actually, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to pause it and move the camera up. Alright. So, we'll get to this later. Alright, so, now what you want to do is you got to make sure these are unpegged. Now you have to separate the arms. Okay? So what you want to do is fold this over. This reminds me of the G2 Laser Optimus Prime. How you do these. A lot of things are borrowed from other figures. Okay? And we'll go the other side. And we will fold this down. Alright? Now we're going to fold this down. And while we're here, we're going to shift these up. So this pulls up like this. Alright, and then bring the arm down. So, let's get you. Sometimes you just gotta, you get it past this little circle. Sometimes you gotta lift it out just a little to get it past that circle, and it is gonna tab in there. Like that. So now they're both tabbed in. So now you can take this piece and rotate it around, and that is so cool. Turn the head around. And this just, it doesn't really snap in anywhere. Let's see. Nope, not really. Doesn't really snap in any, well, it does. Okay, you got these two pieces here. And they, I guess they're supposed to snap in right there. And they just settle in. I don't think they snap in. Nope, they don't do it. They just go that way. And then you can put the arm out, turn the arm around, pull the fist out, rotate this 90 degrees. Now we're going to stop here, and we're going to bring in the old guy. I'm going to bring in the original Brawn / Outback. And what we're going to do is, well, while we're finished this, we're just going to push this back up. And now he's done. Now, I've seen people do this. But technically, the wheel's on the other side. So, if you rotate this around, you can almost get that original Ironhide pose. That original Ironhide or Brawn look. See how the legs are now? Like that. And they were on stilts. So, most reviewers will do this, but... And let's see. It'll stand up like that. But that is just the fan mode. And so where were we? Oh yeah. This is the front. So we're going to rotate at the waist And we're just going to fold these in. Reminds me of Siege Hound. Now, also, make sure that you have this leg completely straight before you lock this in, or else he's going to be crooked. Separate the feet. I'll show you. If you do this like this, you're not going to get it. So you have to make sure this leg is straight. And this will tab in right there. Okay? Separate the toes. Separate the toes. And now Brawn is back to being Brawn again. And like I said, I am so glad that we're getting more and more mini bots in a deluxe size. And the transformations are actually, this guy's a little complex, and I love that. I wonder if there's a way I could find out how to do this. Because it's got 2 grooves. Maybe it just does that. Alright, well, so where was I? Oh yeah, I am so glad they started bringing all the mini bots into deluxe sizes and not the legend size like this guy. So yes, he's a little taller, but he's a lot more complex. And we're finally getting our mini bots into regular size Transformers. And they do scale good with the Optimus Prime. So, that is going to be Studio Series 8622 Deluxe Brawn. Even though he only made an appearance at the beginning of the movie. And maybe they will make I could see in the future them doing a Battle Damage Brawn with maybe a Battle Damage Ratchet. Because they got the Prowl and the Ironhide out now at Target. But for right now, that is our mini bot Brawn. One of the original Autobots from the 1984 G1 cartoon. And he was a tough little guy. And you know what? For him to die with one shot, I think from a Constructicon weapon, was just outrageous. I don't even think it was Megatron. I think a Constructicon, maybe him or Ratchet, got taken out with a Constructicon gun. But, well, can't change the past. Look for the future. Alright, so thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Tell me how you like this guy. What other mini bots you want to see. Like I said, my #1 wish is Powerglide. Like I said, if there's a link below to buy this guy, go for it. It helps me a lot. And as always, till all are one, see you next time.